The forgiveness again is in a similar way happens naturally when first of all you realize that no human being can act beyond their level of consciousness at that time when they acted. So if you haven't forgiven your parents, then you can see they behaved the way they did because they could not have done otherwise. My father, for example, I loved him dearly, well, especially after I became conscious. And before I became conscious, I had a love-hate relationship with him. And I found him very obnoxious, but there was love there too, emotional love. But then, when I was free, I could love him unconditionally, and then I could see that pattern in him that produced so much, gave me so much pain, his uncontrollable anger. Mostly, fortunately, not directed towards me, but directed towards my mother. But the anger that was directed by my father towards my mother hurt me probably more than it hurt my mother as a child. And his anger was so explosive, it could flare up at any moment. So we were always walking on eggshells. And when I was 7, 8, I already knew. My mother seemingly never learned it. I already knew what comment that she made would immediately produce the anger. I knew that when I was 7, she never learned it. And so I was ready, I was listening to my mother saying, oh no, she's saying that. And so there was, I had a dream when I was 7 or 8, I was asleep and had this dream, and in the dream there was a bag under my bed, and in that bag were the body parts of my dad. I had cut him up and had put all his body parts in and hidden it under the bed. So the actual cutting up wasn't in the dream, that had already happened somewhere else.
You're just cleaning up?
Yeah. So I was pushing him under my bed, and then still in the dream, at that moment, I heard the front door opening, and my dad was coming in, and I ran towards him and gave him a hug. So that shows the conflicting feelings. And then later I realized where that anger came from. I don't need to go into this. Of course, it goes back to childhood, how he was treated in his family, the 7th child, the youngest child. Nobody wanted him anymore. The mother was tired. He wasn't given much attention, not treated well by his sisters, and so on. Long story, don't need to go into that. It came all from there. It originated from there. Anger towards his mother, and so on and so on. And later I realized he could not help himself. He did not have the awareness. He got taken over by this anger. And the moment I realized that he acted according to his level of consciousness at the time, I didn't need to forgive anymore, because there was nothing to forgive anymore. And that's a beautiful thing. So again, similar to letting go of feelings, when enough awareness comes in, the feeling lets go of you, or becomes transmuted into something, an energy field that is good. And so forgiveness, again, cannot really be practiced in the same way that letting go can't really be practiced. It just happens, and then that's how it is.